The Inktober challenge, as you might know, created by Jake Parker in 2009 as a challenge to improve his inking skills and develop positive drawing habits. It has since grown into a worldwide endeavor with thousands of artists taking on the challenge every year, just as I do this year. Again.
Good morning, friends and enemies, and welcome back to my channel. Today's Inktober prompt is roof. And I'm going to grab the opportunity to talk about my adopted country, the Netherlands. I am well aware that the housing crisis is actually showing different phase of it in every country. Like in the States, it's practically about food shortage. Some places are having supply shortage. In the Netherlands, we have quite a different case. Why is there a housing shortage in the Netherlands? There is a huge housing crisis in the Netherlands. In the major cities, finding a place to live is expensive and difficult. I testify, it is really difficult. And I couldn't stress enough, if somebody is having a difficult situation, a difficult family situation, or just trying to escape from a bad relationship, this is the worst thing she or he can face when there is nowhere to go. This is so devastating that I cannot even stress enough. Particularly for people who want to buy their first homes. We are millennials, we're never going to own shit. The market has become a nightmare over the last 5 years. No, it's not a nightmare, it's impossible. A combination of regulation, population growth, and the economy have left the Netherlands with way less housing than it needs. In order the Netherlands to have enough housing for its growing population, 800,000, 4,500 homes needs to be built by 2030, according to the 2020 reports. It's a very, very big deal. The impact of these problems are numerous and very serious. First and the most obvious are rising house prices. With rising house prices, it becomes more difficult for first-time buyers to enter the market. And even the market makes it completely impossible. Trust me, I've been there and tried that. It's impossible. And if they don't manage to buy a home, they risk negative equity if housing prices drop again. The housing shortage also impacts social housing. While working class families tend to be taken care of, single individuals have hard time getting housed. That's me. I am well aware of all the housing, social housing districts in Amsterdam and in particular in the Netherlands, and they are full of, families with 2, 3, even 5 children. And trust me, no self-respecting single and committedly single individual would like to live there because they are not fit in the environment. Furthermore, homelessness is on the rise in the Netherlands, particularly among young people. This year, we know about around 1,000 students who came to the Netherlands and had no housing at all, especially in Groningen and Enschede. It was crucial, and it has not been solved. While the problem is nationwide, the major big cities are particularly under pressure, with Amsterdam of course leading the way. Utrecht, Den Haag, Rotterdam and Groningen are also struggling to house their inhabitants affordably. Also, the lack of housing permits and nitrogen problems is contributing to this charade. In the Netherlands it's small. I think we can all agree on this. It also makes very economical use of its land, being the second biggest exporter of produce in the world. just after the US. Agricultural space takes up 53% of the Netherlands. Add the occasional nature reserve also under threat because of the nitrogen crisis, and you are not left with very much space at all. That means that building permits are naturally hard to come by. Who is behind then Dutch housing crisis? Partly the investors. We know certain companies who deliberately keep houses empty just to drive the prices up. And this is the point where if I would be a politician, I would roll up that fucking guillotine. Yes. The Netherlands has failed to deal with property investors. A study commissioned by the ministry and carried out by the Land Registry and the University of Amsterdam showed that in areas where investors were buying more than 20% of the properties that came on the market, they were able to manipulate the market so that they paid less per property than the first-time buyers on ordinary people moving house. Yeah, it is completely unreasonable to rent at this point. The rental prices are high and people left on the street because they have no fortune to pay. This is crucial, and I am very sorry if you are experiencing something of that. Stay safe and see you next time.